speak about the Sky to Earth conference that's coming up, which I think is really, really important for people to be aware of the amazing work that you guys are doing. So do you want to just fill us in a little bit about the Sky to Earth conference that's coming up? I'm not sure if Dale or Maddie wants to go ahead
What do you,
first.
do you want me to go?
Dale, I'll fill in the gaps.
All right, I'll start because that Maddie, I mean, yeah, like credit to Maddie because she created it,
Yeah.
and we've, I mean, we spoke recently how it's kind of taken a life of its own that we
Hmm.
kind of like, don't feel it's really ours anymore. It's turned into a bit of a community.
Yeah.
So basically, Maddie started Scott Earth Academy. How long, Maddie? 2 years ago,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, I think so. 2 years now, maybe a bit over. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it was and it's really I guess I mean you can speak to this later, Madeline, but she basically had like a vision for new education, really.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things are kind of, I guess she kind of just threw herself into it, and saw that there was a need, and a want for people to learn through conversations, and sharing together. And it's so I came on as a guest presenter, I think twice, Mads, maybe yeah, at least twice. And so from there, then Maddie's like, "Well, do you want to run? We'll run like a 9 week conference." So we did that. I think we did that like mid last year. We ran the first one, and yeah, it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And basically, what we do is we get different experts and presenters in all different fields. We're trying to like just trying to understand ourselves and the world and consciousness and psychology and law,
Hmm.
and tying all these different people together from and seeing these stories from like people that really know the Bible and the Christian perspective to um like tribal stories, and seeing how everything kind of interrelates, because we've noticed, particularly in the truther circles and stuff, that people get really attached to certain belief systems, or they'll go down a certain rabbit hole, and then this becomes the truth, and then they shut off to lots of other things. So
Yeah.
we really we really try and target or open up for people that just start with a blank piece of paper and just let the information go where it will. And we kind of didn't know where the conferences would go, and we started to like see little stories and patterns being created, that we didn't even know at the time.
Yeah.
We do 2 calls a week. We have a presenter come on, and then we do a roundtable, and it's either usually a discussion of what's come up within the last week,
Yeah.
or talking about the previous presentation. And then we have like a closed group on Telegram where everyone just kind of shares. And over time, lots of these groups have started to meet in person. Um, so yeah, basically we're doing it again. We start on May the 8th.
Yep.
We've got regulars who kind of come on. So we've got like Will Keller and David Whitehead, who you might know from like Cult of the Medics and stuff like that. And they've been regulars, as well as Clint Walker, who's a tribal man from Karratha, Mads, in WA.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. I've got it up on the screen.
There we
And
go.
so yeah, Clint kicks it off because Clint, I guess like because I mean Matty can talk about this, but he's been a great teacher for Madeline, and then eventually for me as well.
Hmm.
Um, and he ties a lot of different things together. So we've got all that, and then I think we've got Anarchy Lucas, Kathy O'Brien, who was like really pivotal to my understanding of mind control many years ago when um, we had we got her on. Then we got Stephen Evans Strong, because we always have like a try and relate these world events to what's happening in Australia, and usually try to go back to like the tribal stories as well.
And
Who
it
else,
all
Matt?
it all makes sense, doesn't it? When you all
Yeah,
sit
so
together
I
and
mean, and
collaborate together, it just all fits in, all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so the other thing too, so we got the payments. What is it, man? It's 350. So a large chunk of the money that we do get for it, we actually give to the presenters as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and Maddie's been really, really strong on that. That we want to honor and credit these people for the work that they've done, not just for our conference, but in the past too. And it's a tough thing asking for money in this space because
Yeah.
you know, there's lots of different, what would you call them, distortions around what money is and energy and all this kind of thing. So we feel it's important to contribute back to these people that have really dedicated their life to the truth. But anyway, so we got Ole Demigard on too, which was quite topical after like what happened in Sydney the other week. And there you go, Tom Barnett.
Mm.
Tom's a regular as well. But
Oh,
yeah, Matt,
that's fantastic.
is there anything you want to?
Yeah, well, I saw this quote the other day. It's by Philip Ball, and it's a long quote, but I'll just read the first line. It has been argued that the wisest crowds are the most diverse. And I feel like when we jump into these spaces, because everyone's got they're coming from a different background, some of them have spent their whole life researching a certain area. When we like connect with all of them and then we're having our group discussions, the awareness and the kind of conversation discussion points that come out of that rather than just focusing on one perspective or one topic is massive. And I think that's really what's led us to keep doing them, is because even Dale and I are literally really starting to see things on many levels and from different angles, and balance has been a big thing that has come forward as well. And it's just turned into this incredible space where I called it I can't even say it now, synthesizing dialogue, where it's kind of like we're bringing together all of these different perspectives and understandings. And that was the old way of learning, was through dialogue and storytelling and sharing. Not so much that people are going into this kind of room and they're just learning these different things. It's actually we're having conversations and asking questions. And I have learned so much, and my level of awareness around different topics have just grown exponentially since this space. And the biggest reason why I created it was because I wanted this space myself, because I couldn't see anything like it where we were just bringing in different, so many different people. But yeah, and like Dale said, also creating a sort of, I don't know, it's sort of like changing things around. Like we're donating to these guest speakers. They're researchers turned teachers almost, you know what I mean? Like to see them continue this work, because as all of us probably know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot through your life to be able to, to take the time to really understand these things. So, supporting these people in the space as well. But the group, you could see that we added all the testimonials on the page. The biggest thing is a community. It's just like another level. Yeah.
And there's nothing better than that, than surrounding yourself with like-minded people and just having that discussion. It's so hard. We spend most of our time in front of a computer researching and so on, but the human connection is just outstanding. All those energies coming together, it just puts that fire back in your belly.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
that's what they tried to do. They tried to cut us off from that connection, and I think it's
Well,
beautiful.
Beck, that's what I loved. I loved like hanging out with your group too. I've got to say, Beck, that was such a nice group of people.